Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my stepdaughter a graduation gift, even though I gave one to our other kids?
She doesn't need one. You know what? We teach our kids resilience, and that is a gift that is better than all the rest.
Amen, brother. This comes from Throwaway Raymond, who says, "Hi, 43-year-old woman. I have one daughter who is 18. Her father left us when I was pregnant with her."
Shout out, Dad. Where's that milk? Where's those cigarettes?
Nowhere, apparently.
Yeah, dude. He got stuck.
To the ends of the earth, apparently.
It takes a while. I had to go to that one in Alaska.
I own a small company in interior design, and it's very successful in my country. I make a good living, and I met my husband, 55, around 8 years ago. He moved in with me 7 years ago, and we got married 2 years ago in a private ceremony. My husband has 2 children from a previous marriage. The boy is 20 and a girl 18.
Sounds great. I love backstories. This is great.
Both my stepchildren hated me and my daughter in the beginning of the relationship. When my husband asked me how they'd feel about him moving in together with me, they both initially hated the idea and told him that if he did it, they would just stay permanently with their mother.
The stepchildren?
The stepchildren.
Aren't they like old?
Bare minimum late teens. I think this was a few years
Get over
ago.
yourself, kids. What's wrong with you? You don't want your dad to find love?
Yes.
That's lame. That's lame, dude.
That's what they want. They're being angsty teens. I want to hate my dad and make sure he never gets married again. But after a while, my husband moved in anyways and said to them they were welcome should they change their mind. So basically, hey, there's a door if you want to leave. Don't let it hit you with a good Lord split you.
But also, there's the door if you want to come in. There's just the door.
There's just a door.
There's just a door, and you're welcome to move through it as you please.
Open it, close it. After seeing the big house with the pool and all the great accommodations. Oh. So they did stay. The boys started liking us gradually, and we're on great terms now.
Yeah, like as soon as they saw the hot tub, they're like, oh, actually, this place is looking pretty good. Dude, gold diggers. I hate gold digging kids. Give them one Xbox, and suddenly they're hanging around for life.
Come on.
You know what you should do?
What?
Take them to Sacramento, have them pan for gold. Did it in 4th grade.
Wow.
I did find gold.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I found flakes of gold.
It was fake.
It was not
Okay.
fake. There were flakes of gold.
Yeah, they put them in the water.
They do not put them in the water. It's natural sediment. There are flakes of gold in rivers. Hashtag eat out the river.
The daughter, not so much. She was horrible to me and my daughter. And one day, when she was 13 or 14, I heard her making fun of my daughter's weight and looks to her face. I was livid.
That's terrible.
I have suffered from an eating disorder growing up because of bullying, so I knew how dangerous that was. I knew how my daughter must have felt, so I told my husband that their stepdaughter was never allowed to live in my house again. Interesting comments. Do we agree with that? Yes or no? I'm very interested to know.
I don't know about never live again, but I think there deserves to be some punishment.
Yeah.
You have to be like, you can't say that, and you're going to be punished for it.
I saw this video on Reddit, and it was like, I found out my daughter was bullying a classmate, and so she got kicked off the bus. Like, she wasn't allowed to be on the bus. And the daughter was like, I guess you have to take me to school, Dad. And what the dad did is he just drove behind his daughter while she walked 5 miles to school.
My 10-year-old daughter, for the second time this school year, been kicked off the school bus due to bullying another student. She said, Daddy, you're going to have to take me to school next week. As you see this morning, she is learning otherwise.
Damn, she's going to be like super fit.
She's going to be fit.
And then she has the greatest thighs ever.
And then she's going to she's going to even look better.
Crap. My stepdaughter tried to apologize and she was sobbing, but I didn't budge. I mean, yeah, seems a little harsh.
Get on the streets, kid.
I had too long of an experience with bullies that I knew it just got worse when they got confronted and had to apologize, and I wasn't going to take the risk. So she permanently moved with her mother. My initial plan was to break up, actually, but this was my husband's idea.
What? Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
If that's true, that's crazy.
I'm a little bit confused.
I feel like OP has some unresolved trauma from bullying because that is an overreaction. Making her live with her mom is basically driving a wedge between the dad and the daughter.
Yes.
Which is effed.
She still bullied my daughter in school. They didn't go to the same high school, but my stepdaughter had friends in my daughter's class that did her bidding. Dude, she's a mob boss catching a Rico. Rico is where you like order people what to do.
Yeah.
And then that's the only crime that they can charge you with because you're having like
You
the
haven't
henchmen
done
do the
anything.
dirty work.
Yeah.
Well,
that's crazy.
This is also the problem. Now that the dad sent the daughter away, he can't even actually punish her.
You can't discipline her.
True.
Yeah.
I found out about all of this about a year ago. My daughter was embarrassed to tell us, and she thought she could manage her bullies. It broke my heart, and I felt so guilty that my baby didn't dare to confide in me. University is free in my country. Students often take student loans with almost zero interest and work part-time jobs while studying to make ends meet, but the education is free. When my stepson started university, however, I gave him 100,000 euros.
Yeah. Which is a ton of money.
Over 100,000 USD. So he didn't have to work or anything and just concentrate on his studies in engineering. Getting over $100,000, I also don't agree with that. It's possible she didn't give it all up front, but as far as I can tell, that's kind of what it seemed like.
My parents helped pay for tuition, but I was expected to pay for like half through working jobs.
I worked throughout all of college.
Yeah. Sophia worked at Starbucks. And
then also I had like 2 other jobs because I was working for you, not being paid, but then I was working for
she's
for
getting
another
paid now,
company.
everyone.
Yes.
To be
That I was also
clear,
being paid.
she's getting paid
Sophia
now.
is on the payroll
Still not
with
being
bonuses and everything.
No, but I was working 2 jobs, well, 3 jobs, and then 2 were paid jobs during college to pay for.
Yeah, and I think it's like good to have work experience.
He was so grateful, but told us that he wasn't sure he could be trusted with a large sum. So my husband is handling his money, making monthly payments. I am planning to do the same with my daughter.
Okay, W son.
W son.
W son.
That's
Jinx.
a different level of responsibility to basically be like, whoa, you're dumb for giving me this much money.
Right? Stepdaughter graduated with great marks and grades, and she started medical school this year.
Wait, so this is the stepdaughter that bullied OP's daughter at 13.
At 13.
So it is now
graduating.
5 years later.
5 years later, graduating high school, going to university.
Going to medical school.
She asked her father about the 100,000, and he came to ask me. I was confused because before I gifted my stepson, I asked my husband if I could do it, and the reason was because I wasn't planning on doing the same thing with my stepdaughter. He told me I could do what I wanted, and it wasn't weird at all because my stepson and I have a great relationship, and he always saw me as a second mom. He got really mad and told me that my stepdaughter had changed a lot, but it wasn't true at all. Although she wasn't living with us anymore, she made sure to make our lives a living hell every time she visited and even got physical with me and my daughter. If she started playing nice now, it was only because there was money involved, and I knew that, and my husband knew that too. I even told him that she called me that bee. Even my phone number was saved as that bee. Bro.
Yeah, don't
doesn't
give her
deserve that much.
anything.
She does not deserve
Even if she was a biological daughter, I don't think she deserves the money.
Exactly. It's like actions have consequences, and I don't think that is like you have to at some point be like, hey, you can take care of this on your own because you've made it very clear you don't want to treat me with respect.
It's not because she's a stepdaughter. It's because of how she's behaving.
Exactly.
100. And side note, Sam's hair is looking better every single day, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you guys like it
Let it be
better
known.
when I push it back or push it forward?
He is now very angry. He hasn't talked to me in over a week. He's saying I'm using my money to control their lives and that he's heartbroken. If I don't have enough money for both daughters, I can split my daughter's share between them since my daughter isn't even sure where she wants to start college right away.
But it's not about the money.
Not
it's
the
about
point.
the attitude.
Exactly. And let's face it, she will likely never get into medical school, his words.
Okay, so now we know where the stepdaughter is getting all this
The
bullying
apple don't fall
from.
far from the tree.
That is making me want to divorce the husband.
Let us know in the comments below.
Because the reason I'm thinking divorce is now I'm getting the suspicion that OP's husband may have been encouraging / saying things about OP's daughter behind her back.
Oh, he was encouraging the daughter.
Like not encouraging, but maybe saying something that like why would this kind of thought where it's like, oh, like your daughter couldn't even get in almost feels like
He's bullying her now.
yeah. And I'm like, did his daughter get it from him?
Also, I ain't saying he's a gold digger, but he's broke and
He's
sucks,
broke.
and he is.
And he sucks.
And he is
And
a gold digger. That's actually exactly
yeah,
what
I
I'm
am saying
too.
he's a gold digger.
Maybe if I did it, give the money, the stepdaughter would be more grateful and close to my daughter. No.
Yeah, bribe her into being nice to
her
her.
to
Yeah.
be a good person.
True.
Yeah, maybe
That
if
always
you
works.
pay her, she'll be good. She'll be nice to you.
Yeah, no, that's dumb.
I don't know what to do. I feel like I don't owe my stepdaughter anything. My daughter and I have suffered enough because of her ways. She could still do like the rest of her peers, work and take loans, and she has a bright future ahead of her. There may be some truth in his words about me using my money as a reward/punishment. I'm ashamed but still defiant. I should do what I want with my money. And we do have some relevant comments.
Yes,
And the
OP is using the money as a reward/punishment, but
That's
that I mean,
Okay.
like that, I think that's fine.
yeah.
If you literally put your stepmom's phone number as that B in your phone, then you're just gonna have to realize there are gonna be consequences down the line.
Literally.
Should OP divorce the husband or have a conversation? Maybe divorce with the husband and daughter.
We need a little more context. But let's get into these relevant comments. Tree City Kitty says, so your husband has just been sitting around waiting for you to pay both his kids? What a charmer. OP says he pays alimony and paid child support. I guess kind of defending the husband. Tree City Kitty responds, that's good, but it sounds like he expects his daughter to receive the same treatment as his son and your daughter. He knows that she hasn't treated you and your daughter well and has been a bully to both of them. What makes him think she deserves anything? And why does he not insist that she treat you both better? Why does he think you owe her anything?
I think those are great questions.
Great questions. Fluffy Dog 423 says, you know the man is just with you for the money, right? Right? You may want to reconsider the whole breaking up plan that you had. OP, maybe he is. He never showed anything like that before.
I don't know. I feel like that's a little far. I don't think we have evidence of that.
Yeah, we probably need. I mean, it is very suspicious that he is asking for, like, I feel like he maybe didn't ask for it for the stepson because he didn't need to and knew it was going to happen, but would have if he needed to, and now he's really pushing it for the stepdaughter when she doesn't. It's pretty fishy, honestly. It's a little stinky to me. I smell something.
I don't know, because it's like he's not getting the money. It's just like he's giving his kids the money.
I don't know. It's not something's. I'm a little suspicious.
I'm not suspicious. I don't think so.
Let us know what you guys think in the show.
Gold digging or not.
Fluffy Dog 423 says, well, think about it logically. If your children told you they would never see you again if you moved in with a man, what would you do? I'll take a wild guess and say you would end it, right? Well, he didn't. So we've already established that he's a bad dad who doesn't actually care about his children's best interests.
I don't think that's true either. I don't,
Reddit
so
commenters.
like this person's basically saying he's a bad dad because when his kids are like, I don't want you to move in with this woman, you didn't listen. I think kids are sometimes just being bratty.
If your kid wants ice cream for dinner, are you going to just be like, you know what? You're right. Let me take care of your needs right there.
Sometimes kids are afraid of the change, and like you, as an adult, you have to be like, I actually think this is going to be better for like me and the family, and you make executive decisions as an adult.
Which it was for the stepson. It worked out beautifully.
It was better. It was better for the stepson.
Better house, better parents, Papa John's.
And he got $100K.
And he got 100 freaking buckaroonies. Fluffy Dog 43 continues. Next, his kids didn't want you to move in with you until they realized you were rich. Kids often learn these morals from their parents. So what does it tell you that both kids were suddenly okay with things and their stepdaughter threw a fit about leaving the home of the woman she hated simply because you have nice things? I think that's just kids wanting
That's
nice
just
things.
kids being...
If I could play PlayStation and a spinny slide down into the pool underwater.
That sounds awesome.
With a butler?
Underwater? Yeah.
But you have to live with, I don't know, the person you hate most.
I don't
But there's a billion rooms. I
Yeah.
could just go to another room. I'll go on the slide.
If I'm a kid, I'm like, yeah, I'm choosing the slide.
Yeah.
What does it say? Maybe that they were raised by someone who has a particular interest in the finer things in life. Continuation of point 1, when it came to picking his child or picking your money, again, he picked you with the money and permanently kicked his kids out. What the F? Finally.
I don't agree with that. I want to know in the comments if like
Yeah.
you guys see that. let us know. But I just don't agree with that. And also, John, I can't believe you gave a free sponsor.
We've been giving free sponsors all day today.
I don't know, but specifically you.
Specifically me.
Specifically you. Better
Maybe.
pizza.
That the joke was just banged too hard. I could not make the joke. It was
Free
too
sponsors, dude. You're the king of no free sponsors, and yet you stomped on your own land.
Better pizza, better home, no free sponsors.
Nice job, Sophia.
Execution.
Giving
top
me
notch.
the improv queen. Giving me a lesson, ladies and gentlemen, as I deserve it. Hey, Sophia, do you remember those 2 glorious weeks where you couldn't speak? You remember that?
2
time?
horrible weeks.
Right.
You
Yeah.
sounded like you were whispering always, like you were in the quiet place.
Yeah. What was going on there?
I had laryngitis and no one cared. Everyone
Oh.
was mean to me. I had to whistle for attention. It was
I
horrible.
thought she was faking it. I thought she was just doing it for
I
the
forgot
attention.
about that.
Yeah, I was convinced she just wanted to annoy me with her whistles.
I didn't know how to whistle beforehand, but I gained the ability to whistle.
That's
when I
not
had-
true. It was still
No.
awful.
No, it
The
wasn't.
whistling was terrible.
It was great.
I hated it.
Well, Sophia, while none of us here cared the way you deserved, there's one place where you would have found someone who would care the way you deserve.
Who is that?
ZocDoc!
No way.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you.
And instantly book appointments with them online.
And these docs all have verified reviews from actual real patients.
We're talking about booking appointments with tens of thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed, credible doctors and specialists.
And you can filter for ones that take your insurance.
And treat basically any condition you're searching for.
The typical wait time to see a doctor booked on ZocDoc is between just 24 and 72 hours.
Sometimes even the same day.
I use ZocDoc. We use ZocDoc. You should freaking use it too.
Go to ZocDoc.com/OKOP and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/OKOP, ZocDoc.com/OKOP. Let's get back to the show. So finally, now that you said you won't give her any money, he's trying to pretend he's a good father, ? But we've already established twice he doesn't actually give a crap about his kid's best interest. And given that he's the one in charge of his son's money, it stands to reason he'd probably expect the same. Even if he didn't, again, he's only willing to be a good dad when that involves taking your money. If it involves giving up your money, though, oh no, his kids can go rot for all he cares. And I guess one last point, because there wasn't enough, he wanted you to give up providing for your actual child to provide for his, and even decided to insult your kid. So that brings me back to my first point. If you were in a situation where you had to choose between a man and your kid, who would you choose? I remember I was conflicted, because you seem like you'd choose your kid. Even before you realize he's in it just for the money. Remember, truly manipulative people, you never see.
Reaching.
It's just, yeah.
Reaching, leading the witness.
It's just too much.
It's just, man, Reddit goes way too far.
Fluffy dog, you're doing too much. You need to fluff down a little bit.
Yeah.
Little-
You're a spiky dog right
Come
now.
on.
You're a dog with an attitude. You're
Smooth it
barking.
out.
Honestly, I think that dog needs to be put down.
Wow. I was going to say like catnip or something.
Maybe that. Put down with catnip.
Bang, bang, smash, smash says. He can ask.
That. Bang, bang, and smash that dog.
I tried to help him. I tried. He can ask his son to share his money with his sister, or he can provide with some money. He is basically asking you to buy your stepdaughter's affection, and you're saying you don't think it's a good investment with probable returns.
There is a comment that is normal. Thank you.
Yes, my God.
I agree with that.
OP says he already tried. Stepson was furious. He's not on good terms with his sister, which I think is a little telling. Like, he's been so great, and he's not on good terms with his his own biological sister. Throwaway 38 LSD says your stepson may want to put a lock on his account if you don't have access to stop his dad from transferring money to the sister behind his back. I wouldn't put it past him. I agree. Just for safety.
But if that happens, then you would divorce.
Yes, but do you want that? Okay, so you're saying like it's a tell.
Yeah.
And then you use that.
Like I honestly like it.
But then also you risk $100,000.
Well, you've already given it away.
That's true.
I think
fair.
better to know.
That's a good point. You changed my mind. And please make sure your own will is ironclad. You would be rewarding bullies if you gave your stepdaughter the cash, and no, it wouldn't foster a more positive relationship. Your daughter would likely just feel upset that her nemesis is being rewarded by her own mom, and it'll damage that relationship. Don't do that. To which OP responds, I have no access to my stepson's money. I don't think my husband would do something like that, but maybe I need to tell my stepson that he needs to be more cautious. Do I even have the right to do that?
No, I do not think you do that. I think if anything, you talk to your husband.
Yeah, talk to
your husband. Make sure that I don't agree with that at all. That's getting way too much up in the business.
And I completely flip-flop my answer to agree with Sam's previous point, which is literally continue to give the husband full access. Maybe you go to like the master account and you're like bank or whatever, and you're like, hey, could you send me a flag if he tries to like an alert if he tries to like withdraw out?
Which she doesn't have access to it.
She has zero access to it.
I
still think it could. I think it could be good just to like they're hot. I mean, I guess
I don't
she
think
gave
it
it
matters.
away.
I think she would find out probably.
She would.
I don't think she has to safeguard it.
That's true. It could be nice though. It like in a perfect world, she gets this bing, 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 red flag alert. He's trying to withdraw, $1,000 or $5,000 or $50,000 from the account. OP is flagged and she's able to divorce, know that he was going to do that. And the stepson is still able to use the $100,000.
If I was in that situation, I would not tamper with any of it. I would just be hands off.
Fair enough. But I think, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some good relevant comments, but we have an update. And I want to jump to that right now. I have now talked to both my husband and stepdaughter, so I thought I would share it with you if you're interested. But before that, I want to say that I'm very disgusted, although not surprised, by the amount of people who actually took a bully's side. What I wrote in my first post wasn't just one-off incidents. Anyone with more than 3 brain cells should have understood that I wasn't going to write 8 years worth of bullying and bad behavior in one post to convince bully apologists to understand why I did what I did. Many also talked about how we as parents have failed the bully. I don't know how, since the other children we raised turned out to be decent human beings with lots of empathy for others around them. I only wish everyone who defends bullies or try to explain away their horrible life-scarring behavior.
OP has been hurt.
OP needs and deserves therapy.
Yeah.
To never have had to deal with one in their or their children's lives and feel the pain they can inflict upon others. I do not regret any of my actions. I saw my stepdaughter for what she was, and I acted instinctively. Her young age played little to no role in my decision to protect my baby. My daughter was and is still my sole priority. On to the update. I decided that I should try to confront my stepdaughter directly instead of communicating through my husband or via text. So I asked her around for tea, which I think is a good idea. Invite the daughter to some tea, to sit down and just talk.
Which
person to person
is what we said to do.
Take notes.
We didn't say tea, but we did.
But we said sit down.
We said sit down.
Talk, basically. She accepted immediately, which was a first. She showed up last Sunday. I sat her and my husband down, and I just bluntly asked her why she would expect any financial help from me when she hated my guts. She got defensive and said that she didn't ask me. She asked her dad. I mean, come on. She asked her dad for the $100,000.
But that is fair.
Ow,
that's a fair point. Like if she, because it's like the husband is getting mad on his daughter's behalf. Okay. It's like not the daughter.
Well, that's the thing. The stepdaughter probably went to her dad and was like, "Hey, my brother got this. Can I have some financial help?" And then he went to OP and was like, "Can you fund this?"
Yeah. So
doesn't negate that she's still
trying to ask for a reward for terrible behavior.
Yeah, but I think there's also, I don't know, a little sus on his part.
With that context, I put a little bit more blame on the dad.
I agree. Me too. I told her that I knew she wasn't stupid, and she well knew that stepson got his gift from me and not their father. She said, "What's the difference? You're married." I told her the difference is that my stepson treated me and my daughter as family while she always hated us, bullied her little stepsister, even in high school. She was shocked here. She didn't know that I had found out about the high school bullying and I asked her if she would give money to someone she knew hated her of the amount that she hated me, and why then she expected me to do that. She started crying. That's,
Beautiful.
Yeah, very true.
Textbook exposure.
Exposed!
Like a man in a trench coat. You just got caught.
Yep.
Exposed.
She started crying and apologizing, etc., etc. I told her I wasn't the one she should be apologizing to. I told her that I wished her great success and happiness, but that I wouldn't be helping her financially throughout her education, which, again, I agree with that.
I agree too.
My husband was silent the whole time. When she left, I told him to never compare our daughters again, making my daughter to be the inferior one just because she wasn't as academically successful as her stepsister. I trust my daughter and I want her to be happy. And if she wants to study in a less prestigious school, so be it. Her happiness is the most important thing to me, and I didn't appreciate him dragging her and comparing her to others when none of what happened has anything to do with her. He tried to apologize and told me he just wanted to help his daughter.
Which, yes, I understand, but you're not going to help your daughter in the long run by just giving things that she doesn't deserve. She needs to learn a lesson. And you know what's great? She apologized. Long way to go, but at least that's a step.
Could you pass me that red flag over there? Because I need to do a little bit of a red flag waving cue animation. The husband said, "Oh, I just want to help my daughter." What about your stepdaughter, who you should see as your daughter?
Amen. Go off, King.
That's right. I read that subtext, sir. I'm on it. I'm reading comprehension.
100%. Oh, Sam and John, they never know how to read. Guess what? Look what we just did. 100%.
Read in between
Flying
the lines.
colors. We're getting into medical school, and we got a full scholarship.
I am not, but that's okay. Hashtag college dropout. Shooby-dooby-doo.
Well, you got into college. Just decided to leave.
I got into college. The second
Didn't you get a scholarship?
I got the basic
You got a scholarship?
the bread and butter scholarship.
Yeah, that's good. There
It
you
was
go.
you know what it was? It's the we're gonna mark up your education by 20,000 and give you 10,000 because you're out of
That's
state.
still something.
Maybe. It wasn't cheap. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, I trust my daughter and I want her to be happy. And if she wants to study at a less prestigious school, then so be it. Her happiness is the most important thing to me. And I didn't appreciate him dragging her and comparing her to others when none of what happened has anything to do with her. He tried to apologize and told me he just wanted to help his daughter. I told him he's free to do that however he wanted, just not at my daughter's expense. We have been civil to each other ever since, although he's a bit cold towards me. But hopefully he's just ashamed of this whole episode. I will give him some space because honestly, I need some myself to think things over. Thank you for listening. And we will close out with these quick relevant comments. Woolly Goldfish says, "So when's the divorce party?" Opie says, "Oh God, I have been thinking nonstop about our future together. I don't want to make any rash decisions while agitated. I think having my space is a good start for now." And then a few commenters think Opie handled it wrong and should not have turned her back on the stepdaughter. Opie replies, "It was my struggling child or her abuser. It was a very easy choice. I hope you do the same for yours." Smiley face. That is it.
Red flag, though, that the husband wasn't able to change how his daughter was interacting with his stepdaughter after this came to light.
I personally believe because, if I was in his position and my biological daughter is bullying and harassing my wife and stepdaughter, I believe it's kind of on me as her the father of her through her whole life.
It definitely is
to get her to not do that.
It definitely is. I think major red flag. And I had another thought. In terms of what next steps OP should do, I think yes, space is a great start.
Totally.
It seems like there is a little bit of resentment on both sides. And if that isn't resolved quick, it could metastasize into something much worse. And so nip it in the butt. Nip it in the bud. Nip it
as
in the
in
bud.
nip it in the
Nip
flower
it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. I like nip in the butt.
It's
though.
not nip in the butt?
No, it's bud.
Nip in the bud.
I'm saying nip in the butt.
Nip in
I
the
don't
bud
care.
is so much funnier.
I'm
though.
sticking with it.
I'm just imagining like you really got to nip it in the butt, where it's just like you're just biting someone's butt.
I'm sorry, it might be because I grew up in Florida, but that is how I heard it.
Yeah,
I don't
it's way better.
revisionist history. I'm just rolling with it.
It's way better. But yeah, I think couples therapy for sure in this situation.
Yes, I totally. It's space is almost like step 0, where it's like you need a reset, and then the first like step of action is getting couples therapy to actually come together and work on it. I think it is salvageable, but the dad is the one I feel like
there's no character development.
He is on the shake. He is ground by a landslide by the end of this story, and I think it's possible that they can recover, but I could totally see it also not working out and him not changing.
Yeah, but who do you think is the a-hole? Let us know in the chat. But it seems like most people are saying don't divorce right. Well, actually, it's pretty split. 54% of people are saying couples therapy.
That is majority, which our audience loves the divorce chant.
Yeah, they love a divorce chant
in a while as well.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do it now because I don't think this deserves divorce.
That's true.
But when it does, just we will be chanting away. But 51%. Wow, it's gone down.
We're swaying the election.
51% say 50% say oh wow,
it is neck
51% divorce. Okay,
I feel like
all right,
Wolf Blitzer right now.
You guys heard us, and you're like, "What? This can't stand." Divorce. It is now 51% couples therapy. So, or 50%. Wow, you got it is.
I think it's just gonna keep flip flopping.
It is neck and neck. It is neck and neck. But you know what? We're up to our next in.
What?
This next story, but. I think we have a call.
I want to talk to him.
Sophia,
who do we got?
Who do we got?
Or do we whose do we got?
Whose
if it's multiple.
do we got?
If we're spinning the
we
wheel.
have 250 people.
That's true.
And there's got to be someone who can comment on this story.
That's right. Shout out to all y'all members, by the way.
It's ready now.
Here we go.
Lil Udon.
Hey. Lil Udon, can you hear us?
I can hear, but I think I'm on the wrong thing.
I think we can
hear you.
you.
Great. Actually, if you can hear us.
Okay, I can hear y'all now.
Hey, there we go.
go.
Little Udon. So thanks for hopping on. I have 2 questions with you. Your experience with childhood favoritism and then divorce or couples counseling, starting with what was your personal experience with childhood favoritism?
So, first off, I'm also Stella Davis.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's go.
I go by Lil Udon because, John, actually, you gave me that nickname.
No.
So
I forgot that.
So my experience with childhood favoritism is that my older bio sister has always been the favorite. My mom thought that since she needed more help, that meant that I needed no help, no guidance, no nothing at all. I was cooking my own meals and doing my own grocery shopping by the age of 8. Whereas my sister was being coddled, she was being comforted, everything. Yeah. My sister was allowed to hit me. She was allowed to fat shame me. And then when I would turn 19, because 19 is the age of adulthood in Alabama, my mom kicked me out of the house in favor of my sister, who at the time was almost 21, who had never had a job at all or anything. And luckily, I pulled it together because I had until Christmas, and within like 2 weeks, I managed to rent a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house and buy a car.
Stella Davis, Lil Udon, shout out to you for being able to do all that. Like, I feel like we've read a couple of stories about it where it's just like one child needs more help, and so all the time and attention of the parents just goes towards that child, and then you're left, like, the other child's left feeling neglected. And like, not a lot of people can pull themselves out, like, up by their bootstraps and navigate that situation, but shout out to you for being able to do that. And then in terms of this story, with all of that fallout that came with that situation, would you go to couples counseling or would you go straight to divorce, and why?
I would go to divorce. And the reason is because not only is OP's daughter like having issues, but OP's stepson also is not even on speaking terms. Like, personally, like, my relationship with my sister got so bad that I have an order of protection against her. And she only started like softening up because she was trying to sabotage my life after everything. She only softened up when she needed someone to take care of her cats. And the thing is that if OP is going to stay in this relationship, she is always going to be faced with the choice between her husband and her daughter.
Yeah.
And her daughter is going to eventually like build some sort of resentment as to why is it always a choice? Why are you
Yeah.
still with someone who makes you choose?
That's
Yeah.
a
There
great
is no
point.
coming back from this.
Never considered that.
There's like when it comes to like I mean she's making a good choice in choosing her daughter to begin with, because like I never got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that eventually like this daughter is just going to feel like if that I shouldn't even be a choice. There should be no other option other than me. I am your daughter. I am being hurt by this person, and it shouldn't matter if they change or not. You can forgive them, but you're essentially asking like me to be involved in a situation where you're forgiving someone, you're rewarding them for changing, and they
Kind
didn't
of
even hurt
enabling.
you as much as they hurt me.
Yeah.
And it's like not only is the I guess my question is, do you think OP went far enough? So OP's not giving the money to the stepdaughter, thus not rewarding all the bullying that occurred. But do you think like divorcing the husband, who essentially was complicit the entire time in his daughter bullying OP's daughter, like divorce is the only clear way to say, daughter, I am choosing you
protect
over this relationship.
Yeah.
Yes, because OP's husband is acting like a child. She confronted like her husband and his daughter with everything to try and handle things a more mature way, and he's responding by basically giving her the silent treatment. Like, I don't like what you said, so I'm just not going to say anything to you at all and see how you feel about me not being in your life anymore.
Yeah.
We'll just be roommates.
Absolutely terrible behavior.
Yeah, the silent treatment is super childish.
Yeah.
Well, Stella, thank you so much for calling in and sharing your perspective. We really appreciate it.
Thank y'all for listening.
Of course.
Thanks, Stella. Thanks, little Udon.
Chat soon.
Chat soon. We're going to go into this next story. Am I the a-hole for not sticking up for my brother after my boyfriend called him out?
You just might be.
And this comes from Foxy Lady 33. I'm in a really tough spot and could use some perspective. I, 28 female, have been dating my boyfriend, Alex, 31 male, for about a year now. He's been wonderful and supportive, especially through some difficult times. One of those difficult times involves my relationship with my older brother, Tom, 33 male. Tom and I have always had a complicated relationship. Growing up, he was the golden child, and I often felt like the family doormat. He would tease me mercilessly and make fun of my interests, and generally treat me like I was beneath him. Our parents rarely intervened, often brushing it off as saying sibling behavior, or even enabling it by saying boys will be boys, or he's just joking, don't be so sensitive. I feel like that is kind of terrible parenting.
That is terrible parenting.
I mean, I think...
Hold people accountable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you get in real life.
And also like Sophia and I have a great sibling relationship, and I think our parents always encouraged us to be really kind to each other. And that's what a good sibling relationship was, not like, let's encourage the rivalry.
But then it makes for great home DVDs.
That is true.
I feel like we don't have a lot of home DVDs.
Well, yeah, I don't know why we don't. The only rivalry we had is there was gold in the river.
No.
I did pan for the gold. There were gold flakes. Sophia refuses to believe that I got gold in Sacramento, and I did, and it wasn't fake. Anyway, the dynamic continued into adulthood. Tom still makes condescending comments, dismisses my achievements, and often expects me to drop everything to help him out, all without any gratitude or reciprocation. I tried to talk to him about it before, but he just laughs it off and accuses me of overreacting, which is exactly what their parents did. And so he's convinced that he's doing nothing wrong because the parents didn't do anything to step in when they were kids.
The apple ain't falling far.
Yeah. And Bethany says, let Sam have his gold. Thank you. For context, I work at a museum in our city, a job I'm really passionate about, but Tom often belittles it. He thinks it's a waste of time and constantly tells me I could do something more useful with my life. Last weekend, Alex and I were at a family gathering. Tom was in rare form, belittling me in front of everyone about my job. I was trying to brush it off as usual, but Alex wasn't having it. He stepped in and told Tom to stop treating me like a doormat and start respecting me as an equal.
Let's go.
Shout out to the boyfriend Alex for stepping up.
Listen to the girlfriend's family. Not easy.
Not easy. And also, he didn't say it to the girlfriend's family. He said it to. Oh, well, yeah, I got Tom.
It's hard to stand up to family members of the partner because you want to have a good relationship.
Yeah, exactly. You want it to be normal and stuff.
And I think he did it in a very what's the right way? Not like assertive, but not like aggressive. Assertive, but not aggressive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like he's not like, well, you're an a-hole and are not going to amount to anything. He's just like, hey, like, just respect her.
Direct, but not mean.
Yeah. Things escalated quickly. Tom got defensive and the situation turned into a heated argument. Alex called Tom out on all the times he's treated me poorly and accused him of being a bully. Tom fired back, saying Alex didn't know what he was talking about and should mind his own business. Our parents tried to defuse the situation, but ended up taking Tom's side, saying Alex was overstepping and causing unnecessary drama. Now, Tom is furious with me. He says I should have stuck up for him and defended him against Alex, which I think would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, they should definitely pick a side.
Like, or you mean OP should pick a side?
Or I mean, they definitely should. They should punish bad behavior.
Well, I think so. I'm more asking, so Alex, the boyfriend, stuck up for OP against Tom, who was saying all these terrible things about OP. Should OP have defended Alex's comments when the family came after him for overstepping boundaries? Because I think, yes, he went out on a limb, but when you go out on a limb, you would kind of expect your partner to back you up a little bit.
Yeah, because he's really putting himself out there, and like OP this is home turf.
This is home turf.
For OP, this is home turf, and it's like it's easier for OP to kind of like push back and stand her ground than it is for the boyfriend who's at an away game. He's got no home field advantage whatsoever.
Exactly. And I think there is a way, like, I have to believe there is a way that it can be navigated a little bit more elegantly. And then the other question is, does OP even want to be stood up for?
Now that's a really interesting question.
I could see myself being an Alex and doing the wrong thing and not knowing the family dynamic.
Yeah.
Because there are
might
families
be white
that just...
knighting it, but you don't want a white knight.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe you don't want a white knight.
Yeah, I think it's very possible that she's like, hey, it's not worth like, bringing up, and that's like her personal preference. And then maybe he's just like, yeah, let me come in and be the hero of the white knight, and or like he's maybe a loose cannon boyfriend who doesn't follow the rules and is just like letting his anger kind of...
His heart's in the right place for sure.
Heart's in the right place
Heart's in the right place. Execution, like, not the best. Also, it's like if you want to step up if you want to be the white knight, you can't be mad when the princess doesn't go against the dragon.
Yeah, you got to be ready to fall on your own sword.
Exactly.
100% fall on your own sword, right? Not just like get grazed.
Yeah, exactly. Sophie, what do you think about that?
A lot of knightly analogies.
What?
What do you think about that analogy? Full screen, Sophia.
I was thinking. I haven't thought of something.
You're
you're
talking right now.
You're talking right now.
You could go,
Yeah. What do you think, Sophia?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, great. really, really great.
Well, I
input from
forgot what you
Sophia.
said because you called me out.
And you know what? Hey, a full screen thing where you're like, I don't know. That's hilarious.
That's funny. That's funny. Anyway. So
that was great.
So recap. So Tom is furious with me. I totally got that wrong. Tom is furious with me. Tom, the brother. I totally got that wrong.
Well,
we were debating something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
He claims that by not doing so, I betrayed our family and humiliated him in front of everyone. I should have kept reading.
Betray these booty cheeks. Get out of my face with this stupid... You're the one that had... No. I'm the one arguing against you.
Yeah. And yes, I am sorry. Reading comprehension at an all-time low.
Woo! We're back.
We're back. All right. My parents are also disappointed, feeling like I should have controlled the situation better. Alex feels bad that things got so heated, but stands by his actions. W. Alex.
W.
Saying someone needed to finally call out Tom on his behavior. I'm torn. On one hand, I appreciate Alex standing up for me, but on the other hand, I feel guilty for not defending my brother in that moment. Am I the a-hole for not sticking up for my brother? Should I have done something to diffuse the situation? And there are a few edits, but let's ask the question, am I the a-hole for sticking up for my brother? Should I have done something to diffuse the situation?
What? Am I the a-hole for standing up for the brother? She didn't.
No,
Or
am I the
a-hole
a-hole for not sticking up to my brother?
Right. Not at all. Like Stella Davis said, the brother can kick some rocks for all I care. He was the one that was being an a-hole to OP and got the favoritism and all of these different things. So it's like, if anything, the brother should have apologized to OP, no? Like for
being a massive a-hole.
For being an a-hole.
Alex is a great guy for finally bringing something up and defending OP. Yes. Tom is getting what he deserves.
Yep.
And I think the parents should have backed Alex, if anything.
Yes. They are continuing to show their favoritism by siding with Tom in this.
Yeah. Yeah. And the parents took Tom's side. So it's like they're still playing classic parents.
Everybody can kick rocks. It's a rock kicking family, except for OP.
Yeah. I think OP is not the a-hole. If anything, you should ask, am I the a-hole for not sticking up for Alex?
Boom. There it is. Well, question, do we know exactly how is it possible that she did kind of side with him?
No, she did. What Tom is saying is, by saying nothing, you were complicit.
Okay,
you should have stood up for me.
We do know that OP basically said nothing.
And if anything, I think she should have stuck up for what Alex said and said, yeah, sometimes it makes me uncomfortable because Alex went out on a limb. I agree. But there is an edit. I wanted to add that part of why I didn't try to defend Alex more strongly, whenever I did try to say something in his defense, my parents just bulldozed over me. Every time I tried to speak, they'd yell over me, which brought back all the feelings of clamming up like I did when I was younger. It made me freeze up and just stand there, especially since it seemed to only make Tom angrier. I felt trapped not knowing how to diffuse the tension as it got worse and worse. I'm working on it, but it's not easy, especially in situations like this. But the end of the entire thing, I was just standing there crying, and Alex took me to our car to go home. I've been fielding phone calls from my parents and brother since last weekend. I know I'm not responding to people, but I just posted this on a whim and put it away. Edit 2, I just woke up to more comments. I'm just writing this edit to say I'm going to visit my Aunt Amy tonight to discuss what happened. She hosted the get-together and has always been someone I can turn to for help or advice when I need it. She and my uncle usually do step in to diffuse these situations when they're around, but they were both in the kitchen when this happened. Aunt Amy understands the family dynamics better than anyone, so I'm hoping she can give some clarity. Also, please stop DMing me saying that Alex should leave me. Alex has been incredibly supportive, and we're handling this together. Reddit is so mean.
Where did this come? Why?
Also, just remember, we are reading the most upvoted comments. Like, we are reading the comments that Reddit is like, oh, these are good.
That's true.
Imagine how terrible the comments are that get buried, that only the person that writes it sees. Imagine. Reddit
Talk about it.
Is mean, which is why you watch things like OK Storytime.
Our community?
Nice.
Would never.
Our community?
Would never.
W's. W's in the chat
chat.
for the OK fam.
That's right. You.
I appreciate everyone's concern. I understand people not liking that I froze, but it's what happened. I love Alex, and he's been amazing for my self-confidence, but I struggle with it around my parents and brother. And OP was voted not the a-hole. But there is a quick update. So, hi again. I wanted to do a quick update. I ended up talking to my Aunt Amy and Uncle Joe last night, and I went over for dinner, as I mentioned. They have always been a safe haven for me, and it was really comforting to hear their perspective. Amy and Joe told me that my parents have always been in the wrong in how they treated me, and that the way they let Tom belittle me is not okay. They said that whenever they tried to stand up for me, my parents would not let them see me and Tom. So it's like anytime someone stood up for OP, the parents are like, you have lost access to the family. So OP has never had a champion except for Alex, her boyfriend.
And you know what? In total fairness to OP, after you're beaten down for so long, like you've lost your energy.
You just learn to be silent.
Yeah, 100%. Sad.
One instance they brought up really hit home for me. I remember not going to see Aunt Amy and Uncle Joe for a few months after my mom and Amy got into an argument. This happened after Tom ruined some of my favorite books, and Aunt Amy tried to defend me. She told my mom that it wasn't fair for Tom to face no consequences and that I deserved better.
W auntie.
My mom got so furious at Amy's interference that she decided to cut off contact for a while. I think I was 7. I didn't fully understand why I suddenly couldn't visit them anymore, but I remember being upset and even more isolated. Joe explained that this is why they always tried to take me on outings whenever they could. It was their way of giving me a break from the environment at home. It just seemed to hit me all at once while we were talking. They're the ones who took me to the zoo, a movie, or just a walk in the park. All my happy memories as a kid were never with my parents.
Wow.
Honestly, they are who I think of when I think of what a parent should be. After our talk, I've decided to go no contact with my parents and Tom for the time being. I need to focus on what I want and what's good for me. My aunt and uncle also promised they'd run interference for me so I don't have to deal with them. Also, Alex proposed to me yesterday morning. I honestly didn't expect it, but I'm so happy. We're going to be visiting his family over the long weekend to celebrate, and my aunt and uncle are going to come with us. I don't know what's going to come of cutting my parents and brother out, but I'm glad I'm doing it. This will be the only update that I give on this on Reddit. Anything else will remain between myself and my family. And that is where this story ends on a very happy note.
Love Bubbles just said, is she Cinderella?
I know.
This is like, what?
Except instead of the step parents, it's the real parents that are the step parents in this
that
situation.
Actually suck, and then the aunts and uncle that are the
Amazing.
good ones. Wow. I mean, honestly, so after reading all of this, I really, really pin the blame on the parents, because also Tom grew up under his parents', wings and influence. He was a child initially. The parents were adults from the outset.
Yeah,
they should have known better.
Tom, honestly can be forgiven for bad parenting. Like, the source of the problem is the parents.
I don't know about
maybe not forgiven. You're right.
Yeah, but
maybe
like,
not forgiven, but like understood.
Yes.
And like the real evil is the parents.
The root of the problem is absolutely the parents.
Yeah,
the root of the problem is the parents.
And so I think, it doesn't seem like they're literally adding anything to OP's life. Like nothing.
Zero.
So why would you want to be around someone that just drains your happiness?
Yeah, I mean, it was, some people maybe would think that it's a strong decision to make, but I kind of
agree with it.
Yeah.
I totally see going no contact because they're awful.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be around them?
And OP has the context of like OP said, she was like, her eyes were kind of like opened, and then she's like, oh, now I see this for what it is. No
also, I think something we also have to focus on here is Alex. Like, what a blessing. A partner who suddenly makes you realize that you are worthy of something more than you've had. Like, I think there's every once in a while we come into contact with a person that sees us as more than we are, or sees us as more than we think of ourselves.
Yes.
And Alex was that person for OP, and I think made her believe that she did not have to be treated this way.
He boosted her self-esteem for sure.
Boosted his self-esteem, and when he saw how she was treated, he's like, wait, that doesn't even make sense. And I think OP had been just inundated with so long that she just believed that was how she was supposed to be treated by her family. It's all she knew. And sometimes it takes a person like Alex to actually break you out of that. And I think that's a beautiful thing. But I think also we can do that for ourselves. Like, you are worthy of the best treatment. You are worthy of feeling good about yourself and around like the people you have in your life. And so if you ever don't feel that way, that's a problem.
Absolutely. But to your point, it can be harder for people to even realize and recognize it without an outside force coming in and being like, oh, this is not normal.
A
and
fish
you should
that
be treated this way.
the fish that's been in water its whole life doesn't know what the breeze feels like, you know? And
No breeze in them
sometimes,
gills.
sometimes you have to have someone take you on land and feel the breeze in your little fish hair to feel what it feels like.
And that's
walk.
the plot of Luca.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is the plot of Luca.
Wow.
Great movie, but no free sponsors.
A movie I have seen, but
I'm surprised you've seen that movie.
A great movie.
See?
Yeah, but
I
it's
watched some movies.
I feel like it's like an underground Pixar film. Like,
that
I
it
feel
is
like
a deep. It is a
it's
Pixar
like-
deep cut.
It's
My, my professor in college was the voice of the father.
no
That's
way.
awesome.
Yeah. Like the father with the mustache. Who just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't say anything, doesn't he?
Yeah, he says stuff. He's just like
It's like Groot.
He
Yeah,
was my
Groot.
Shakespeare teacher.
That's awesome.
Nice.
But I think that's where that story ends. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
And see you tomorrow.